Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Visionary Leaders Collective podcast. My name is Aisha Harley, and I am one of the founding members. We gather every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time for insightful discussions on everything wellness and doTERRA essential oils. If you have missed an episode, you can catch up on YouTube, Apple, or Spotify. You can also stay updated at our website at www.hellovisionary.life. Please subscribe to our newsletter and text reminders, and we would be so grateful if you would take the time to leave us a 5-star review. Today, we invite all who attend to join us in an open discussion about the recently concluded doTERRA We Are Stronger Together Leadership Convention. That took place in Nashville, Tennessee. Some of us joined in person and some online. This eagerly awaited annual event offers a platform to elevate leadership skills, get inspired, and forge new relationships. We delve into learning about new products, get updates, and the newest science and all the company has to offer. Following a community share, we will have an exciting lineup featuring a short slide deck unveiling all the new products, the materials, and updates. So stay tuned with us until the very end so you don't miss all the great announcements. So thank you all so much for being here. I super appreciate it. And as I said, this is meant to be an open discussion. So we don't actually have a planned first speaker. Does anybody feel inspired to kick us off? You can just raise your hand or hop on and come on and share. Ariana, you want to start us off?
Sure thing. So I was just going to talk a little bit about Danielle Dan's presentation, and it might be something that you're familiar with, and it might not be, but I really love her work with neuroscience and how our brain works. I posted a great diffuser blend for theta brain waves, and if you have not seen that, please check our Essential Wellness page or our Visionary Leaders. I think I put it on there too. But what I wanted to talk about is mindset. And what I really took home from that presentation wasn't something I've never heard before, but it was something I had to do a little inventory check on. And what she was speaking to was that when we have obstacles in our life, usually we can trace an old belief system from when we were children. And so that can have to do with prosperity, it can have to do with being seen, it can have to do with being successful. And so if you're noticing in your life, there's anything coming up, like things like, I'm always broke, things don't work out for me, I always get sick, other people are more successful, those kind of languaging in your brain, I would just invite you to revisit our internal track and what are you telling yourself? And there was this really great quote in leadership that was, what you tell yourself matters, right? And so I think that the inventory of our mind is a daily practice. It's not something we work on and we're just done with. And so she just reminded us to really center the brain, use our oils. I'm going to use one right now. And I invite you all to do this. Grab an oil. You can grab whatever's close to you. And just think of one thing you want to tell yourself that you really want to affirm. So I'm going to choose, I am prosperous. And please choose your own. And put a few drops in your hands, on your shoulders. And let's really just take a minute to deeply inhale and say to yourself your own affirmation. And the reminder she gave us is we want the affirmation to be in the present. It's not I will be, I'm going to do this. It is I am. And so you're creating the energy and the feeling that it's already here, that it's already arrived, that you are already living this truth. And the way, if we approach it from that angle, then we manifest it. but we have to practice it as if it's already here. And so I invite you to do that. And then I invite you to, if you have a pen and a paper, this is a step that we so often don't do, but write it down. There is so much study about when we write something down and the connection between our brain and our hands. And so it didn't take notes on that presentation. And if anyone else saw it and they want to contribute some take homes that they got from her, I would invite you to do so. But that was what landed for me. And it was just really good to hear again, because I just noticed some of this old jargon from my life and my childhood, my fears coming up lately. And so I thought, I need to clean up this mess. I need to take that trash out. I need to recenter and really listen. What am I telling myself right now? I got a little virus last week too, and I was just like, whoa, I'm just sick, blah, 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 and then it was like, hey, let's change this dialogue a little bit, So is there anybody else that had any take homes from her presentation? And if not, I can pass the mic. Jose, did you want to say something?
I wanted to jump
Oh,
in.
it looks like Aisha. Yeah.
Aisha wanted to.
So Dr. Danielle's talk was amazing. And hopefully you, if it's recorded or it can be offered, I highly recommend watching the whole thing. But one of the things I loved about it was she started with a slide with two brains. And she said our conscious brain is 5%. And that the unconscious brain is 95% of like untapped potential. So what Ariana was speaking to with the mindset and the rewiring and the way we talk to ourselves, this is exponential potential for whatever we want. So that I found that very inspiring. That's how she started the talk. Something else she said that kind of blew my mind. I'd love to put it out there in this environment and see what you guys think, because not only are these habitual patterns, or these are neuro grooves in the brain. So these are hardwired paths, right? It's going to take a bit of effort to flip into a different mode for yourself. So I would consider doing whatever you're going to say to yourself for 30 days to try and really make it a reality for yourself, not just once or twice. But she said, everything in our life, everything, even the things we find challenging, we have created. And this one was one of those little bumpy areas where you're like, wait a minute, this is their fault, or this happened and I'm mad at them, or right? All these, like, sometimes we have challenges in our lives and it's so easy to other the situation or the cause of those feelings. But when she put that up, when she held that mirror up of everything is our doing, that was really big for me. Did anybody else feel that way? Show of hands. Do you remember hearing that? It was like, oh, okay. But one of the things I liked about it, you guys, since then, I've been working with it. I've been chewing on it on my walks. I've been thinking about a certain situation that over years has really had, has been disappointing for me. And I was like, you know what? I just want to look at it differently. I want to feel myself responding to it differently. And I want to start with gratitude for what is, right? I feel like gratitude is the ultimate etch-a-sketcher. Remember that thing? You could shake it up and just go to neutral. So if you find yourself feeling challenged or getting a little bit of a wall there with that concept of everything is our creation, I would just encourage you to go to neutral and kind of dissolve whatever negative feelings we have in place of that thing. Anyway, I'm getting on a tangent, but I thought that was really powerful. And I also felt that that has the potential to free us of things that are holding us back. So that's why I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, Aisha, I'm going to come in because it was, this was almost the theme of leadership and the intention there, because then the there's always a paid main speaker, this guy Hal Elrod, am I saying his name correctly, who's written The Miracle Morning, like Dr. Danielle Daniels' talk and his talk just completely dovetailed together, right? And so all this idea of otheringness and the subconscious mind and being first cause and looking at all of our, the things that have not gone well, or disappointments or failures or disruptions, and looking at them in a different way of neutral and gratitude. And then he brought it to this other place of sort of saying, what is his wristband? His wristband thing is you can't change it. Is that what it is? He has a slogan with one of those, yeah. And it's basically this baseline of, it comes from Eastern thought and psychology, or I'll just say that, with this idea of, what is, and you can't change it, right? And so coming into total, it's, radical acceptance. I don't think he used the word radical acceptance. He was just into surrender and acceptance of what is, and you can't change it. And so getting behind it. And then he had this thing called the 5-minute rule, which was, can you work towards, at first you want like longer, you might want days, you might want hours, you might want 20 minutes to get over it, to get to the acceptance and the surrender, and I can't change this. And so then, and he had a great analogy of being in traffic and you're late for an appointment, and how are you going to spend those 30 minutes? It's the same 30 minutes. Are you just going to be like, get beep, 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 come on, I'm late, which we all have done, probably. Or are you going to be like, I've done this to myself. I'm late. I know I'm late. I have a meeting. I can't change this. So can I sit back and be the same person going through the same series of outer events, but just sit here and take this time to meditate and be in gratitude? Right? We have the opportunity. So that was the metaphor for everything. So yeah.
I'm going to say one more thing to that. I highly encourage you to practice it. This morning, I was working exactly on that. I got the bill for my daughter's college tuition, and it was a little overwhelming, and I paid it, and I thought, oh my God. And so if you can ever relate with getting a bill or just having some kind of big stress come in, and I felt like, whoa, wow, this is a lot for me to hold. I noticed my mind wanting to go into an old track that it plays out of just feeling, somewhat not safe in the world, going in a survival mode, that kind of jargon, that kind of patterning we go into, which is normal. And I had this moment where I stopped and I said, oh yeah, I'm working on this. Let's change the track. Let's, like, if it was the radio, let's change the radio station. Let's change the dial right now. And the smell of the hyacinths that I had created a vase for, or have a vase of on my counter, came in, and it smelled so beautiful. And I just stopped in that moment and appreciated and felt grateful for that aroma and that moment. And I just wanted to point this out because it didn't solve the problem. Our brains are wired to want to solve problems, and they're just like little computers. What problem can I solve? What problem can I solve? What problem can I solve? And so that was, I hope that that helps. I don't have that solution of, oh, how am I going to pay for this big bill? But I have this solution of, I can not go into that old mindset and get negative. I can be in an energy of gratitude right in this moment for something that was free, for the smell of hyacinths. So I think it's a very powerful practice. And I want to just say one more time, I know we've already said it, Marilyn typed it in the chat, but if you can, a take home is really what you tell yourself really does matter. I just can't emphasize that enough. So I just got excited about this subject. So that was the little thing I wanted to add.
When each of you speak, will you each say your name and where you're from? So when people are listening on the podcast recording, they'll know, since we're having kind of more of a roundtable discussion. So I didn't say that in the beginning.
No, that's great. Thank you, Aisha. So this voice is Dr. Josie Schmidt.
Yes, thank you. Who else would like to share? Florence, are you ready to share?
Sure, I'd love to share. I have to say, first and foremost, I was very blessed to be able to get on to the virtual live of leadership. And so I was very grateful. And I pulled a lot of stuff from it. And I kind of made a few little notes so I could kind of go through it real quick. But I think first and foremost is the transparency of doTERRA. And I loved how they started out the event with talking about the different leaders and then new people coming in and all that. I think that's important for us all to know and get to kind of start to get to know some of them. But, and then of course, I love the documented science that is available out there for us to go research. It is there, and we just have to point people in the direction where it's at. And then I'm going to say something right here to all you visionary leaders. I am so grateful for you guys. For the last 3.5, 4 years and beyond, you guys have always shown up for us. And it's not always been easy, but you have been here. And consistency is the most important thing that I value. And I get it. And I learned from you guys. And it has always been my goal to consistently show up for my people. And I was just talking with my daughter the other day, and I said, you know, Jennifer, I feel like I have consistently showed up for I've been doing the business for the last 7 years. And I will continue because it is my true passion. And and then on to what else that I got from it is about the importance of self-growth and how we need to invest in ourselves. And last year I took a big plunge and I did that. And I'm so grateful because I have so many tools to work with. And then the other thing was about revisiting your why. Why are you doing this? And you know, my why comes deeper and deeper every time I go back to it. So that I thought that was important about revisiting our why. And then I loved Dr. Hill's talk and his talk about getting oils on people. Oh my gosh, I just we got to do it. And I go to these meetups with these people and I have my oils with me and I offer them, would you like to put some lemon in your water? You know, I do this. And just reiterates what I'm doing is the right thing. And again, cat's crying, sorry about that. Again, the keynote speaker touched my heart so much, and I'm anxious to read his book. And I just felt like he had so much to offer us. So that's, you know, I am just so grateful I got on to the leadership call. So thank you guys. And I thank you and I love you guys. You are amazing. So grateful that we have this group of people in our team.
Thank you, Florence. We love you so much. And that consistency is so valuable. I mean, all of these reminders, these aren't things that any of us don't know. One thing I love about leadership and also convention is many years ago, one of our leaders said, it's like going in and plugging into the mothership. And it's such a good time to go in and get that reboot, that re-inspiration, that reconnection with your why, and the reminder of the simplicity of going out and sharing the power of what we have. And as you simply stated, putting oils on people, right? Like it really is that simple. And yes, the keynote speaker was fantastic. I would elect that as a group, we all read the book, The Miracle Morning. I was very inspired by him. And again, they're not concepts that none of us had never heard before, but I think after the trauma, the pandemic, all of us are still kind of coming up out of that. It's a really good time to have a reset, a reconnection, and reconnecting with your purpose. Who would like to share next? Oh, fantastic, Marilyn. She said her book arrives today. I love it.
I want to just piggyback really quickly on what you just said, Aisha, and also what Florence said. One of the things that happened to me during this leadership was a wake up, like literally like from asleep to awake. That's how dramatic it felt to me, because I've been letting the pandemic and kind of some lackluster experiences I've had in my town really color my desire to share the wellness journey with doTERRA. And I have helped so many people with radical issues, radical transformations. I'm working with someone right now, and it's blowing my mind every time I talk to her what she shares. And so for me, the wake up was keep going, teach public classes, get out there, share. People need this. It's not about me and my feelings and my fears and whatever's holding me back. It's about helping others. And so for me, that was very dramatic, reigniting. So I'm excited to teach public classes again, and I'm going to push myself to do that. And I challenge you to join me, because so many people need these products.
I want to, hold on, I'm trying to, can you guys hear me? It's Dr. Josie.
Yes.
Oh, I guess my thing isn't working. Okay, hold on. Sorry. So thank you, Aisha, for, being brave enough to talk about that. Let's out ourselves and bring it forward. And as leaders, people who've been here, builders, leaders for a while, I think there's a reality that what Aisha just spoke about has been the case. And there's just a lot of reasons. The pandemic has just been so wide reaching, and on our lives and our businesses. And that when I said this leadership was so inspiring and it was a reboot, I felt that way in the past, but this felt different. And so I just want to say, if you are having any of those feelings, please go, and I think it's $49 or whatever's on. I think they're going to put some of the things on the website. Whatever you can get. Diane Del Rey's just gave a link to, I think it was most of day 2 and some of day 3 that she recorded. Watch this content, y'all. It is really helpful. And some of us diehards who have been like, I don't know, and I'm, my business and this and that, like Aisha, I don't know, Diane, if you want to speak to this, like myself, who have been in administrative mode, there's a sense of coming out of this leadership where one part was so much of this mindset. There was a whole nother part, which I feel like we're in a phase 2 of doTERRA. The old owners who we have loved dearly and grown with the company, they are mostly retiring, I think, except for Emily Wright and Greg Cook. Rightfully so, 10 or 12, 15 years of just boots to the ground work. And it's like a handover to the next generation and the next generation of thought of where the world is, where the economy is. And so part of the leadership was that, showing us who are the new CEO, the new president, who is the face of this and kind of going to be leading the company forward. And that feels fresh and good. And so an excitement about, okay, we're in good hands. And then this mindset shift. And if you don't know, all of us who've been around, we all know that leaders are born in live events, and convention and leadership, as expensive as they are, as difficult as they are to get to, all that hoo-ha. And most of us did not go in person. And now we're like, you know what? We got to get back in person. It's time to reboot and start that. We're knowing, it's not seeing the value, knowing the value of what happens in the connection and in the kind of content that they bring to us, that they give If you show up there, you're getting incredible training and content. And so I don't know. I just wanted to speak from the heart about that and that reboot, and that it's really important. I'm saying it to myself. I'm saying it to all of us. I'm completely committed to convention and leadership next year, and I hope as many as you are too. These events are very, very powerful, and the training is incredible. I don't know if anyone wants, I don't know if Diane, if you're in a place where you want to come on, because I know you have had, we're watching together in a watch party and on texting, so many kind of ahas through the whole thing and stuff. So she's a big leader. That's why I'm calling her out, but maybe she's got her hair up in the towel. I don't know.
While we're waiting,
I'm sorry. I don't know. I came up with a kind of a stomach thing today. I was like,
Oh, okay.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm feeling better, but I was like, what the heck? Anyway, yeah. I mean, I agree with what everybody has shared today, and definitely watching Hal Elrod and Daniel, and just I think Anne Caroline mentioned whoever did the multiply. There's just so much good juice in that in the sessions, and yeah, there is something different. Here's what I am like sitting with right now, like very inspired. I definitely felt like there was a reboot. There was a resurgence of trust in the company and the business. I think we all have the trust in the product. Like that's a given. Like I've never doubted their products. And so, and at the end of the day, the trust is in yourself, right? If I'm having trust, it's a trust in myself. It's not anything outside of us. Yes, there's always going to be things going on in the world that we can't change, right? And so what are we going to do about it ourselves? I look at like, well, maybe doTERRA has had their heyday, and I loved what Emily Wright said. It's like, we are not the company that used to be great. Like, we are great right now. And so it was just a good reminder. And I look at any time I see Emily Wright with somebody, I look at her looking at them. I look at her connected to them, searching for them, looking to see how, understanding them, right? And then I've had that personal experience. I feel really blessed. I got to hike with her for an hour in Utah a couple of years ago. And anyway, the thing I'm definitely sitting with was, I feel this surgence, but I also don't want it to be like super, and this is my vulnerability, like we've all gone to whether it was leadership or convention and left like, yeah, we're going to do 1 million classes a week. And so how do we take this and not let it fall off? Like, what is like a one habit thing that we can do? Talk about habit stacking. Like, how do we do a habit stack in our business that allows us to keep taking this energy and moving forward with it, and not just going like balls to the wall, and then just crashing? Because I've seen that, I've done that. And so that's the thing I'm really working with right now, and seeing and trying to synthesize, like, how do I take all this goodness that I experienced and felt like I wasn't planning on being at every session, and I was at every single session glued to that event. And yes, I was feeling, it wasn't even FOMO. It was almost a little bit of, I don't know if it was even guilt, but that remembrance of why we need to go to these events. and to touch that mothership and to make not only the trainings are fabulous, but the connections, the energy, the being around people who likely have gone before you and have blazed a path, and to be in that energy and talk to them. I think everybody's so available. Even through the times when it felt like there was a big split in the company, I've always seen everybody be available, because they do have, we all have that one thing that we're so connected about, and that's helping other people live a better life through natural products. Right. So, yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying, but I also see somebody like Anne Caroline who comes in and is like, I'm enrolling 14 people this month. It's like, okay, so if we're not doing it, it's on us, because it's possible. So let's look for more evidence of what's possible. You've done it before. I've done it before. I've built 2 diamond teams during my my journey over doTERRA. And honestly, I was just like, I can't do it again. Like, I don't have the bandwidth to try to build another diamond team. And now I'm in the place, well, all of a sudden, like, I see evidence, like my team with Soraya and Anne Caroline showing up again and showing up. And then a new builder I have just kind of showing up. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep following this thread. So anyway, it's all possible.
I just want to say something right there.
Please, I'll shut it.
You'll hear what Diane just said. I'm going to paraphrase that last bit, Di. I don't have the bandwidth to build another diamond team. That's one perspective versus then, but then I look over here and I see my team starting to show up and starting to build and starting to this, and that is firing me up to come back and build in a way, right? So I think that's one of the most biggest things. It's not fun to build this business by yourself. And in fact, I don't think you can. And a lot of leaders coming out of the pandemic have found themselves in that position. And so what was the theme of this leadership? We are stronger together. That was the title. Yeah. So really taking that step back and an assessment of if you're a leader and you're feeling inspired and fired up and you're feeling within your team fairly alone, then I think one of the things is the assessment of the belief, which was so much about the mindset with this. It starts with us, and come with us here in Visionary Leaders and be the change, be the momentum, and be it, and you will attract it. You will attract different people and they will start coming to you. And yes, you want customers, and we know how to do that because we love the products. But the bigger thing is the shift in ourselves to attract the people who are going to work with us to make it a team and then make it a real business. Yeah, Aisha, I knew your
well, I do want to just combine with what Diane said with the why, which is what we said earlier, is people need these products. It's not about us building whatever. It's about just getting out there and teaching, getting people to have relief and see shifts. And then they're going to tell people, like I was just telling you, I'm working with this woman who has incredible issues. She cannot, her hairdresser's like, where are your scars? What's going on with your skin? Your eyebrows are growing back. Like, she wasn't even saying anything. People are looking at her. And so I was like, quick telling her where her share link is. I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like, all so you have to do is like, on Caroline is enrolling people. Awesome. Those people are going to have those products. And then it just keeps going. Our intention is just to show up and teach and help people and plug people into the products they need, because these products work. And we know that.
I want to, this is Aisha, and remind all of us, or if you did not see the presentation from the Goddards, And they
Mm.
talked about leadership styles. And one of the things that they talked about was being a multiplier. And I think we can all relate, and we've all felt this of doing this business alone is hard. It's really not what it's about. It's not how any of us want to do it. But when we come together and we work together and we inspire one another and we bring community together, and that begins to multiply itself. And there's so much power in that. And as Diane shared, if you've been here for a long time, that can also bring back a lot of inspiration and purpose. And why? Because then as a leader, you want to show up for your new people that are excited and ready to run and be there for them and show them the way. And Caroline, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I also would really love to hear your take homes from leadership, because you are rocking it right now. You're building, you're growing, your rank is advancing, your team is growing,
You're in
and
Silver Club.
you're in Silver
Yeah.
Club, and
We had our
you're a
first
newer member
enrollment.
of our community. So I would love to hear from you if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, no, I don't mind. Thank you, Aisha. And that was my first ever leadership retreat, because I'm a newbie at Premiere. So that was so fun, and I was really impressed by the quality of the presentation. And I'm a professional certified coach by ICF, and we're proud to say that it's the golden standard of coaching. So I'm quite familiar with lots of the topics that were talked about, and that was really, really good stuff. So I think that's so awesome that doTERRA is generous about sharing so cutting edge education about how to be a leader, how to foster an empowering culture among the teams and everything. So I was really impressed, and I did an in-person training on Friday for aromatouch technique and symphony of the cells, and the women around were like, wow, we can feel the passion. So we believe, because we see how much you believe in doTERRA and the mission. So I think that's really powerful, this kind of gathering. And being a multiplier, I really love that. And yeah, I think it's something that everyone needs to catch up.
Yeah, thank you so
Recording.
much. So if you all of you should be on the Visionary Leaders Facebook page. If you are not, you can ask to join. That is our kind of community page, and there is a thread for leadership. And thanks to Diane, she recorded the presentation about the multiplier, and also the Dr. Daniels presentation. So even if you did not attend leadership, please go in and watch those. I also want to give a shout out to the science section. doTERRA is doing some amazing research. They're not, we don't just make these false claims. We have incredible research, and it's only becoming more and more incredible. And they did a wonderful science section. Now, for us in Portland, I think it was like at 6:30 in the morning. So I admit I went and watched the recording. But I also posted that recording on the Visionary Leaders Facebook page and the Essential Wellness page. So at the very minimum, it's an hour. I would highly recommend watching the science section. There is some incredible science happening, research about our Serenity sleep line. As we know, many people really suffer with sleep. It is a key supporter for your health. It's so important and critical. And they are showing some reversal in your let me see if I'm saying this correctly, in your immune system health. It's actually reversing the age of your immune system health, our sleep system. And so they talk about that. They have some of the data there. And there's so much that came out during that leadership that we will be doing deeper dives into these topics Luckily, we have our amazing doctor panels that can dive into this with us. But go check that out, because that can give you so much confidence when you're sharing to be able to share that information. So is there anybody else that listened? We'd love to hear from all of you that either listened or joined live, anything you have to share.
This is Dr. Josie. I have an idea. I don't think we have a big lineup where this month, next week is A to Z, correct? Aisha?
We have all the calls scheduled, Jose.
Oh, but don't we have a community call?
Why don't we talk
about
about
this one?
Why don't we talk about that?
All
just
right. Well,
between-
I want an hour to talk about with everybody the science section and all the stuff in there, because there's so much in there that we all want to talk, like break down and ask questions. And, you know, they compared our products to a lot of other products. They brought out all, there's stuff that are common questions. I think we want to talk about that. So that's all.
Okay. Yeah, we could certainly put our
am I
community
seeing
call
other
towards
people
that
wanting
topic.
to talk more in depth about all that?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I just didn't want you to try to change the whole month on me right now.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Well, we have we have 15 minutes and we have
Yeah,
some
I was
Can we
gonna
do that?
say I would love to hear if there's any last minute takeaways. Now is the time. Just unmute yourself or put it in the chat. And if nobody else has anything, Ariana has something. I do have a very short presentation that I can also pop up. But Eric, do you want to share your last thoughts?
Yeah, I'm excited to dive deeper into the science. That really fueled me. But I just wanted to touch on one subject, which is that we as humans have such a what's the next shiny, pretty new thing? And I was really impressed and moved by, there was a slide about Happy Juice and our products comparatively, and they were showing us the difference of what we're getting in our products. And so Florence spoke to this, other people spoke to this, but I just want to say the emphasis of staying committed, showing up and being here and having these products that are science-backed work and are phenomenal is really huge. And the next big thing comes and goes. And I know I've been talking to people in my community who are like, have you heard about this product? Have you done this product? There's this new thing over here. And I know personally, I've said, well, we have that in doTERRA. That already exists and it's working really, really well. So sometimes reminding people of that as well is important, right? Because some people who are even maybe signed up just don't know about all our products. They don't know that we have a comparable thing. So I just thought that was really powerful. And looking at the difference of other products on the market, and they're just not comparing.
Yes, thank you for that reminder. Okay, we just have a few minutes left. Is everybody interested in seeing the PowerPoint of all the kind of summary of the take-homes? Okay, let me share my screen. And I will admit, I put this together last night about, I don't know, 11 o'clock. So bear with me, it's not perfect. It's just a quick summary of kind of all the things that were released and the highlights. If I've missed something, you can share that with me at the end. All of this, again, is posted on the Facebook page, and we'll continue rolling this out. But these are the products that are going to be newly released. We are super psyched that we are getting the rose hydrosol and the moringa rose oil coming back in the spring of 2024. I think it's going to be released during Mother's Day. It is a limited time offer. If you have not experienced this product, buy as many as you can, is all I have to say, because it is divine. We have some new blends, which we're excited about. This is the Costa Brio Enlivening Blend. For the sake of time, I'm not going to read through all of the ingredients here. I'll just read a couple of them. It has cedarwood, bergamot, pink pepper, tonka bean. I have not smelled this yet, but super excited to experience this. We have another blend, Endless Summer. They are calling this the Sunshine Blend. This has more of a citrus flair with the orange, grapefruit, but the eucalyptus, green mandarin, jasmine, frankincense, sandalwood. Again, I'm not reading all of the ingredients, just a couple of them, but super excited about this blend as well. And then who's psyched about these? These are going to be a wonderful product to have if you do any kind of self-care classes. They are the Yarrow Palm Revitalizing Eye Masks. So super excited to try that. They also then created the doTERRA Sun line in a travel size. So that will be fantastic for traveling. And then our Meta Power line has been expanded. So we have released the Meta Power Recharge, which is the electrolyte blend. Raise your hand if you are loving that. I actually have mine right here. It is my new daily morning drink. I do my Meta Power and then my Meta Power Recharge. And they've also reformulated the Mito 2 Max. And so bringing that into your protocol is going to give you that mitochondrial cellular energy naturally. They've added a couple new ingredients to that. It is stimulant free, and it is a really powerful product to add to your regimen. There is, I think the mobile app is updated. So if you've not downloaded the shopping app, it has a new QR code scanning feature where you can take any product, you can scan the code, and it will open up an information page. So this is an incredible tool that you have all of this at your fingertips, and really make sure and share this with, I would share this with your existing customers, with new customers. Like, this is definitely a really cool feature. Then we also, oops, there we go. We also have these new, oops, let me go back to that. That's on automate. So, oh, let's see. Here we go. We have these new PDFs that help you with the wellness lifestyle assessment. And again, a lot of these things we can talk more about and do a little deeper dive into and talk about how to use them and best practices, but just want you to make sure you're aware of them. We
Wait,
also
Aisha?
have, yes?
These PDFs are going to be on virtual. For the wellness assessment, it's going to be a virtual wellness assessment built in, I believe, with our back office.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah,
clarifying.
so we were not sure on the release of those, but I just want to drop that seed that we are so excited for that, to have this, basically this new tool of a wellness assessment that will be, again, I think in the mobile app and virtually for us to be using for people as they are enrolling everyone. So it's going to be a really big tool.
Yes, thank you for making that distinction. We also, who is psyched about the updates on shipping? So we continue to have free shipping for orders over 100 PV, but what's really awesome here is that orders that are between 50 and 99 PV have been dropped to $3.99. So that's a big bonus. And then you can see the other shipping, I think is pretty much the same there. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, now these are creating a lot of excitement. These are 2 new enrollment kits. Now, I'll give you all some insight because at the moment they are only available for people that are newly enrolled. However, there is a big discussion on the Diamond page about wanting these available for everybody. So doTERRA is looking at stock and we are waiting to hear back from them. There's no formal announcement right now, but we are hoping these will be available for everybody. And hold on a second, I have to admit somebody into the room, and I'm not able to do that while I'm on PowerPoint presentation. There we go. Okay, so those are fantastic. If you do not have one of those diffusers, they're fantastic. And this is a really good product, especially for people that love artificial home scents of any kind, you know, like a Glade or a Scentsy, or, you know, people that this is a really good introduction to essential oils, to just plug it into your wall, you put your oil on, and it's motion activated. So it's a wonderful intro to the oils. Okay, we also have a lot of continuing education. So if you go to doTERRA.com/DMK, this is available for everybody that has an account with doTERRA. And there are several PowerPoints and classes already done for you. So if you're not familiar with those, please go and look at that. And then there's a lot of online trainings as well. We also have these wonderful share cards. So these are cards that you can download from your back office and print them out or share them on Instagram, Facebook, or via text. Anything that doTERRA creates is for you to share. Anything that's on their blog, any of these materials and resources that they have, you are free to copy that and put that wherever you would like. So please know that they are there for you to use. We also have these wonderful trifolds. The trifolds can be a wonderful thing to have if you're doing any kind of booth, if you're having a class, if you want to send a sample to somebody in the mail. These are all done for you. And again, you can just print those off. And then I would take a screenshot of this and or look at the QR code, because these are all the online courses. They are easy to go through. They're very educational. And again, whether you are just a customer, you're sharing doTERRA, you're building doTERRA, there's a lot of amazing free education here to be had. There's also a wonderful and very educational podcast. I love to listen to the podcasts when I take my dogs on walks. And if you are teaching, it gives you a lot of really great talking points. Like if you're going to teach a class on MetaPower, for instance, go and listen to the classes on MetaPower. And then, you know, you'll find yourself oftentimes wanting to take notes and having really good speaking nuggets that you can add into your classes, or that you can then easily talk about when you're sharing with friends. We also have a blog. So again, anything, if there's an article here that you like, you're welcome to share it. You're even welcome to repost it on your own blog or into Instagram, or you could send the link to a friend. And then again, we already spoke about the doTERRA Science. We have a new doTERRA Science. This is a new website, is that correct? Or it's a new page. And so there's a lot of discussions here. Oops, let me go back to that. Yeah, so definitely check that out. And this is really awesome, again, to share with anybody that's in the medical field, doctors, you know, anybody. You have this as your resource. Remember, you don't have to be the expert. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a scientist. All you have to do is share the resources. Okay, and then we have convention. So please take out your calendar right now and put these dates in your calendar. September 18th to the 21st. You have a lot of time to save, to plan, and we would, more than anything, love it if you would join us in person. We will all be there. Raise your hand if you're committed to going. I know Ariana, myself, Dr. Josie, Diane, and Caroline, I can see we will be there. Tickets go on sale on May 8th, and they also release the hotel blocks. We will be posting about all of this. So you definitely want to get your ticket and get your hotel, communicate with your leader. It's fun if you can stay in the same hotel as us, or we can all be as close as possible. We love to hang out at the pool. It's a great time for forging new connections, for masterminding, and for really getting inspired. And this will definitely help you propel your business to the next level. And then I just want to speak on this last slide just for a brief moment, because it comes up a lot that people will say, oh, it's too late. It's too late for doTERRA. It's already saturated. Everybody knows about the oils. I want you all to know that that is completely false. I was on a call for Diamond and Plus leaders a few weeks ago with Jake, and in the state of Oregon alone, where I have a large team, an active team, we have several leaders here. The saturation percentage in Oregon alone is 3%. That is nothing. We are in the market. We are in the stage we call late majority. This is a wonderful time to engage with your business, because what this means is doTERRA has been around for a while. We have street cred. It is so much easier to build this business now than it was 14 years ago. We had none of this, right? We didn't have the science. We didn't have the resources. We had none of this. And most people didn't even know what essential oils were. They looked at you sideways when you talked about taking them internally. Now, most people have heard about essential oils. They might not know anything about them, but it's actually a lot easier to talk to them about it. And they're typically quicker to jump on board because they've seen them in the grocery store. They've seen them online. They might know a friend that uses them. So when somebody's had all of those touch points, it actually makes them more willing and kind of more eligible to actually purchase something. So we are really moving into this time where there is massive opportunity in this business if you want to grow and, create an income with doTERRA. Okay, I think that wraps that up. So, and look at that, it's 11:01. So thank you all so much. Did I miss anything? Is there anything, Dr. Josie, that, or Diane, that was really critical that I didn't have on that slide presentation?
That was wonderful. Thank you, Aisha. The only thing I just wanted to reiterate how awesome this new app update is. And for anyone sharing and building, you have a bottle, you just take a picture of the QR code on the bottle, and it'll take you to the app and have information about for your customers how to use it. So let's say it's peppermint. They don't remember what you said because it was all new information. You teach them to do that, and then they get to read about how it's good for, like, if you're having a headache or you want to feel, some energy later in the day, right? It's going to be there and help teach them. So this app is, someone said, what's the app? It is the doTERRA Shop app. So we will have do you have a slide again of that, or anyways?
Yeah, we have it posted on the Facebook pages.
We have it posted on the Facebook page. Go check it out. Talk to any of your people in your team, your upline, and we can tell you more about it. But a lot of tools to help us in the building of this business. Keep expanding.
Yes, thank you all for everybody that shared. I love the group energy. I love to hear what was inspiring to all of you. And we will be back next week with Ariana and her A to Z panel of doctors, and they will be doing a deep dive into fennel, right? Is that right, Ariana? So we look forward to seeing you all next week. If you've not opted into our newsletter, we do send out a summary with call notes and highlights from the call, and you can go to hellovisionary.life and opt in for both the newsletter and then also the text reminders. We'll send you a reminder right before the call. with our link. And just so you know, we do use the same link, the same Zoom link every week. So if you just put that in your calendar, then it's super easy to hop on live. Okay, everyone, have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.